Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're so excited to have you with us today. I mean, we always got a great show lined up for you, but it just feels fresh and new to me every single time, and the excitement never gets old to me.
I can say the same thing, so I will.
Echo.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're taking off, and we're getting noticed, and people are responding to the notices. Oh my, hey, that's really stuff. That's strong right there.
It really is. So, we just want to say thank you for rocking with us. We really, really appreciate it. And, as far as this particular episode goes, we have P General joining us from Barbados by way of Brooklyn.
Go!
So, yeah. We're really excited to have him on the show today. And then, of course, we'll have music news for you. And I'm just ready to hop to it, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
today we've got a very, very special interview for you, just like all the rest, but it's still got a little bit of pizzazz with it. Our guest is the one and only P General. He's taking time out of his busy schedule to join in and chop it up with us. And so right now, without any further ado, for all of you from coast to coast, all around the world, also, the one and only P General. P, are you with us?
Peace, peace, peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to hear your voice in the place, man. Glad to hear your voice. So now I know a little bit about what you got going on. Achickwitbeatz knows a little bit about what you got going on. But hey, take a minute to just share yourself with all of our listeners from bit to bit about who P General is, well, where did you come from, and then what is it that you represent on Earth today?
Oh man, that's good. My name is P General, Brooklyn, New York. Member of the Brooklyn's the super group Brooklyn Assassin Ninjas, killing all instrumentals, also known as the Bankai Fam. One half of the rap group Stone and Robert with my partner Gangsta Rap Martyr. I was actually born in Barbados, but I was raised I came up here when I was young. I was raised, from 3 years old in America, and I represent love, peace, and love.
Okay. Oh man, that's strong. And I got a buddy that I just been kind of chopping it up with, believe it or not, in Barbados. And so, I'm sure when I let him know that, hey, got one of your homies that's going to be on, oh man, he's going to be excited, man. He's going to be excited about that. So that's some good stuff right there. Wouldn't you think, Achickwitbeatz?
Absolutely. So yeah, if you could give us a little bit of background, how long music's been a part of your life, when you first started, getting really into it and realized that this is something that you wanted to do.
Oh man, that's actually, I was actually having this discussion last night in the studio. See, my brother, God bless the dead, R.I.P. to Wayne and R.I.P. to Paul, both my brothers. But my oldest brother, Wayne, was a DJ. Mm-hmm. So everywhere he went, I was under him everywhere he went. So it got to the point where he would take me to these parties when I wasn't supposed to be there. He would take me to these places, and I would watch and learn the ropes. Really, just watch him, just really wanting to be around my brother. And by that happening, I was exposed to all different types of genres of music. You know what I mean? Just from him DJing. You can't play one thing in the club or the party. You got to mix it up. So by him doing that, I was, it exposed me to all types of music. So I actually always been a fan of it. As far as just wondering how these guys do it, and then from the DJ, from wanting to be a DJ as well, like my brother. And then me actually being an MC and artist happened in 2007, actually by accident. Mm-hmm. It was actually Mother Nature, man. I was working so much, and I didn't really get a chance to hang out with the fellas. So one day I popped up on them, and they was already, doing what they do. So I went back to the liquor store to come back with a bottle, and it's like soon as I came, and my friend went also. So he went to the liquor store as well. So we soon as we come back and we put the bottles on the floor, it just started raining so hard. It was no warning, no nothing, no drizzle, no nothing, just immediate thunderstorm. And everybody started scattering. They went this place, and he went here, and he went there. Nutso said, "Let's go to my house." So I said, "You know what? I don't want to go back home. Let's go to Nutso house." I went to Nutso house. I wasn't even thinking at the time that he does all this music and everything. He has all the equipment in his house and everything. And after a couple drinks, we sitting there talking, and I told him, put on some of your music. So after we listened to his music for a while, I told him, put on a beat. He looked at me and laughed. I sat there for about 20 minutes. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how. And I asked him, just give me a sentence. Write down one sentence for me. I don't care what it is, anything. Just write a sentence for me. I just don't know where to start. Write anything for me. He gave me one sentence, which in musical terms is a bar. I didn't even know that at that time. And we did three records that night.
Wow.
Yeah, just off of him giving me that one sentence, we did 3 records that night. And I forgot about the night. So I left him and, you know, continued to, you know, have some fun for the weekend and everything. I forgot. I didn't go back around the neighborhood now for a little while. I popped back up about a month later, and I'm walking down the block. Somebody that lives on the block, he's crossing the street as I'm walking down the block. He starts rapping something to me. And you know when you heard something before, but you don't know where you heard it at. You just can't identify it yet. He was rapping the joints that I did that night. One of the verses that I did that night. They done made copies of the CD and passing it around the neighborhood.
Wow.
And you know that was motivation for me right there. So by after that, those three songs, I never got those songs, by the way. Nutso never gave them to me. But after doing those 3 songs, and that was it. I booked my own little studio session, and then that was it. From there,
here I am. That's wild, man. That's wild and crazy and cool at the same time. You know, and so big shout outs, you know, from me to your brother, and, you know, share to all the listeners out there just what it means to have someone, that one person that can mentor you, that can show you the ropes, that can, hey, come on over here with me and check this out and whatever, how that really planted that seed in you. Okay, so now look at you now. And so we'll just share with our listeners what it means to have someone to kind of usher you in. And then once you get ushered in, next thing you know, you're blooming like a flower. What's that like?
It's very important, actually, to, you know, for young males, exactly, you know, because this is my brother. I didn't grow up with my father. This is my older brother. So that aspect of it was great, keeping me out of trouble and keeping me, you know, into certain things at a young age, exposing me to certain things. Look how, you know, important and big music is today, which it always has been. But it's like, you know, look where it came from since I was a child. So that part, you know, it was awesome. It was cool, and it's important. You know, if you can, you know, help somebody or mentor somebody, it's important that you do that. You do that, you know, because you could be saving somebody else's life. You know what I mean?
Oh man, heck yeah.
And you know, you know, like I said, being on the flip side now, it kind of gave me an advantage, because now I just don't. At the time, I didn't know how to identify the instruments, but I knew what certain sounds and certain things like that, and it worked out for me. I listen to all kind of music. I listen to rap, but I don't really listen to rap. I listen to a lot of old school R&B. You know, like the Isleys and all that kind of stuff like that. That's what I like to sit around and listen to and stuff like that. So, you know.
Okay, and so now, what led you to choose the name P General, or is that what they called you anyway, or just how did that come out of the atmosphere?
Well, my nickname growing up in the neighborhood was Pusshead. So you know, as I got older, they dropped the Pusshead, you know, and they just kept it as P. Then, you know, I got the General from, you know, just being, you know, like a leader, you know, and I'm not a follower.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I'm not like, you know, I ain't the captain, but I'm the general, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know all about that. And that's strong. That's strong. You got any questions right now, Achickwitbeatz?
Well, yeah, one that I kind of wanted to, I mean, we can imagine a little bit what you might have felt, but I wanted you to kind of walk us through that feeling when you're hearing your words recited back to you, like, hey, wait a minute. Like, just in that moment. I know you said it was motivation, but just describe for us a little bit what was going on in your mind once it clicked what he was actually rapping to you.
It's shocking. Because, you know, and mind you, it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't mixed, mastered, or any of that. It was just bounced, just recorded, bounced, just enough for you to listen to, you know. And just listening, hearing myself, I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like, damn, because I always wondered how other artists, before I started doing it, how they do this. How do you put these words together? How do you? The process. I always was curious about the process. So now it's actually me doing it and going through it. It's crazy. And then to hear other people rapping it, like I said, I forgot all about it. To hear other people rapping it, and then to know that they done made copies because they want to hear it, that alone, it was like, you know, that started the that started the like, you know, the interest of like, I can really do this. Let me see what else I can do. I spoke about this on this song. Let me give them my point of view on a different subject and matter. Like, and so far so good. I actually I put out a mixtape. The Bush Kept Secret, being that I'm from Flatbush. I mean, I'm from Crown Heights too. I'm from Barbados, so I was raised in Crown Heights and I moved to Flatbush. I became the Bush Kept Secret. You know, I'm slept on. They know. They just don't want to give me my props out loud. You know what I mean? Until the others start doing it. You know how I do.
Yeah.
Okay. We definitely know how that works here, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you guys go through it and see a whole lot.
Okay, so now share with our listeners and us too. Okay, so now once you started getting your feet wet, your hands wet with this, and you're kind of molding, you know, your image, you're molding, you know, the sound and your general ambiance of P General. Okay, and so now when you start rolling with the live events, okay, whether it's a little party in the basement, or whether there's some other event that's larger or whatever, okay, share with our listeners the feeling of maybe the first 2 or 3, and then as you grew, then what's happening with the second 10, 11, 12 appearances. What was that like?
Actually, here in New York, right, they had this place around West 3rd and Sullivan. It was called Sullivan Hall. There was a big event space, and every Monday they would have open mics. So the first time I went with a friend, just to, you know, watch. I didn't perform yet. I was making music and everything, but I didn't perform just yet and everything. I was actually nervous, but by me sitting in the crowd, I sat there from the whole night, from the beginners to the more polished acts, and I was like, you know what, I could do it. It's just you got to get up there and do it. That's the fair part. So maybe not to set the next Monday, I went again just to, you know, be a spectator again. The 3rd Monday, I signed up.
Uh-oh.
All right, so now I was actually by myself. I couldn't get nobody from none of my friends to come and go with me, so I went by myself. So now that's even kind of like more, because I don't know nobody. I ain't got nobody to give me no pep talk. Like, yo, you can do this. Boom. I just had to do it myself, right? So the first night, I fumbled a word, but you had to know the song to know that I fumbled. Right?
Okay.
Just and I paused just a little taste. If you more polished, then you would have known right there. Okay, that he kind of messed up. Okay, that was it. I got off the stage, and people like, oh yeah, good job, you know. Blah. The next week I went back again, like, nah, I messed up. I gotta go back again. The next time I went back, I did the same thing. This time I didn't stop, or I didn't pause. It was a different part of a different song, and I did the same thing. Instead of saying like as is, I said is as. That was like, so you had to know the song to know that I fumbled, but I kept it moving, and only I knew that I messed up. And then my 3rd time, I performed in California. That was and that was my coming out. Like, you know what? You can't mess up here. You got to do this. And I had a great show because I had a great show, a great first show, and I didn't have no time to think about it because they had a set. It was a shout out to Husky Radio. DJ Show Enough and O-Tech. These guys had a 7-year anniversary. So, you know, they've been doing it. They real hip hop. They've been doing it for a while. So they rented out a big spot and they had a big crowd. So now they had their set list. If you didn't come on your time, then you missed your slot. Nice. And it was a lot of acts from California that, you know, underground, that has a lot of names and you know, a lot of clout and things like that. So it was like, you don't want to miss this or whatever. So by the time I got through the door, they threw they slapped something on my wrist to go get a drink, free drink area. I didn't even make it to that area. They was like, P General next up. So the guy had like one more song. Or he was on his last song. And they ushered me right to the stage right after, and I waited, and then I had no choice. As soon as I walked through the door, 2 minutes later, I was on stage.
Oh, man.
And I got a very good reception. It did a lot for my confidence. It really did.
That's good.
I was thinking, damn, I can't do this. But I already told them, yeah, I want to be a part of it. They invited me, and I said, yeah, I'll come back. I'll come, because I went to California in April of that year. It was 2011. And then while I was doing some interviews and, running around, they invited me back in November to perform. So I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. And I don't have no regrets. It was awesome. I had an awesome night. I wish I could find the footage. But that was it. And then since there, my confidence grew. So it's like, once you it happens to this day. Once you get a little butterflies, but once you say the first thing out of your mouth, you can't turn back. So then you just go into, time to work.
Time to work. That's strong. That's strong.
Got to give the people what they came to see. You got to do your best. Try your best.
Okay. Now, words of advice, words of golden nugget from P General. What would you say to the folks out there when you compare waiting for your chance versus stepping out there and making it happen? What's the difference in the two?
Well, the difference in the two is just that if you sit around and you wait, you don't know what's gonna happen because you're sitting for something to fall in your lap instead of getting up and see if it falls on top of your head instead of your lap. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can't wait. You can't wait. You just gotta go get it. And sometimes it's gonna be times where you don't want to go get it, but you have to go get it if that's what you really want.
Key words right there. If that's what you really want, you gotta do it.
It's gonna do for you like you're gonna do for yourself. Even your friends or your loved ones, they'll want it for you, but they can't want it more than you want it.
Right.
Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
Chick, what you got for her?
Man, so we're getting close to about that time to close it out for the night. But before we do that, I would like, for one, you to have a chance to be able to share with everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you to keep up with what you've got going on. And also, before you actually do that, let's say somebody's listening right now and they're thinking, maybe I should check him out. What do you want them to know about your music before they hear it?
You used to ask me what kind of music I make. I would say I make reality rap because I don't everything that I rap about, I've done it, I've seen it, it's been next to me, I've experienced it. I don't rap about things that I have no knowledge of. I don't know how to sit around and I honestly don't write raps unless I have a beat already. I just can't sit around and write music just like that. So it's like the music that you hear, it's the beat dictates what you hear. And I make reality rap. I can't tell you about a Lamborghini and stuff. I've never been in a Lamborghini, so I can't tell you like that. So I don't rap about stuff. I rap about stuff that you can relate to, whether you got some money or you don't. You can relate to it. Everybody can relate to heartbreak and backstabbing and just ups and downs and just life, good times, bad times, just life, period. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's strong. That's a strong response right there. Definitely. That makes sense.
Yeah, I just try to do that because I know it's somebody out there just like me going through the same thing or about to go through the same thing or went through the same thing. And they can relate to it. Whether they had some money and lost it, or they about to get some money, you can relate to the things that I rap about. Keeping your head up and you know what I'm saying, watching for fate. Whether it don't matter. These are things that you have to do. These are things that's essential to your survival. You got to watch out for fake. Everybody don't love you like they say they do. You got to be able to tell who's who, distinguish, you know what I mean? The real from the fake.
Well,
that's in situations, that's just in life, period.
That's a key phrase that you said, that you dropped. Essential, things that are essential to your survival. And see, now, all the folks that have come through, I hadn't heard them utter that phrase at all. Have you, Chick?
No, nope, first time.
You know, I'm sure you can relate to it though, but I'm just the first one to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's only one P General though anyway, you know?
I received that, man. I received that. So where do people go? I know you got a list of some places where, you know, people can follow you, support you on online, internet, whatever. And so can you roll those out for us so we can
I got cut off from Twitter. They still ain't give me my situation back, so I'm not on Twitter. But I spend a lot of my time on Instagram, and you can find me on Instagram at pgeneral, PGENERAL. No nothing, no dots, no slashes, no nothing, just straight P General. If you on Facebook, it's the same thing. It's PEE space General on Facebook. And that's pretty much it. I really spend most of my time on Instagram though, for the most part. And you can find my music, you know, streaming on all platforms. It's not too many songs out there yet. I got a lot of stuff that I didn't put up there yet, and I got a lot of stuff that I am on there with the Bandkai fam. Like I said, check out the Bandkai fam, BANKAIFAM. Bandkai fam. We got videos everywhere. I'm on YouTube. We on YouTube. We everywhere. So you know, when you see P General, you see Bandkai fam as well. So it's all good. But you know, I'm on YouTube as well. P General Music is my channel on YouTube. And I just actually finished my last session was last night. So I just finished my EP last night, and that should be coming out by March 12th. If not, March 12th. I got a single out right now. It's called Hard Hitting. It's on Bandcamp. It's on Spotify. It's streaming everywhere right now. And that video will be coming about another 2 weeks. I shot 2 scenes last night. Later on this week, I shoot about 2 more and then throw it in for editing and put it out maybe a week after that once I get it back.
P General, you staying kind of active there, aren't you, man?
I'm trying to be better than I was last year. You know what I mean?
I heard that, man. I heard that. Yeah. Big shouts out to P General, man. I mean, we come through here, you know, knocking doors open, but passing a good word though, and leaving a good word. That's the thing.
I appreciate Music Marvels for having me. I appreciate you guys a lot. And you know, later on, like I said, I got this thing, and maybe we could talk off air, and we could probably work something out together, because later on in February, around Valentine's Day, I'm gonna release this joint called Fine Wine.
Oh.
And what I want to do is I want to have a fine wine challenge. We didn't fully hash out all the specifics yet, but we're gonna be giving away a couple bottles of wine, and stuff like that. Couple other giveaways, maybe some T-shirts or something like that. But we're gonna be definitely giving away a couple bottles of wine around time of single release, around February, around this time. So hopefully we get it right by so we could make a couple people Valentine's Day night. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, I'm serious, man. You've come through here, man, busting doors open and leaving a good word, and you know, got that positive vibe going. And I mean, you know, I'm like, hey, man, I'm feeling this, so you know, I'm ready to just spread that name everywhere, man. I mean, so because you're amongst all, it's like you are an ambassador, okay? Because you're bringing the one side to the other side and sharing these good vibes about, you know, who you are, where you came from, and stuff like that. And man, it's a totally good mixed bag. So hey, man, my hat's off to you, man. It is.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Like I said again, man, I appreciate you guys for giving me the time. Yeah, could have been with anybody else. Y'all out here with P, and P appreciate y'all so much.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we thank you for
sir.
coming on.
Listeners, salute, happy New Year's to all your listeners, and you guys as well, and all the best.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you very
then.
much. Same to you.
All right.
All
So
right.
in contact, and like I said, we'll talk off air, and we'll figure out how we could involve the Music Marvels with this little raffle giveaway thing we gonna do. Maybe we could probably give away to a couple of your listeners. We'll straighten out the details.
Okay.
All right.
That's solid, man. That's solid. That is. So, okay, the one and only P General up in the spot.
Peace.
Peace.
Whew, I enjoyed that energy from P General. It was really, really good to have him on. Don't you agree?
Yeah, man. It's about like getting ready to set off a party in here because he was bringing the nuggets, he was bringing the info, but even more than that warmth. Okay, see, everybody doesn't have warmth like that,
Right.
and so he was bringing it and sharing that warmth with not just us, but all of the listeners, and that's what's important right there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, okay, we're going to get back to some more beats by yours truly, and then we'll be back with music industry news right after that. All right, and we are back. Music industry news to share with you this time. have you been paying attention to what's been going on with Hypnosis Song Funds? I mean, they have been dropping money left and right on people's publishing rights and song catalogs. So most notably, at least for me, was they bought Jimmy Iovine's producer catalog. So in case you don't know exactly how significant that is, that's his royalties across 259 recordings, and it includes his royalties from production of 8 Mile and Get Rich or Die Trying. And in addition to that, they just purchased all of Lindsey Buckingham's song catalog. So that's 100% of writers and publishers' share for Fleetwood Mac songs that Lindsey Buckingham created.
Hey, these things keep happening. Stuff keeps happening each and every day. So I'm glad that you bring these nuggets like this, because it educates people, but even more, it makes people aware. So get your awareness on, and these, soaking this stuff up like a sponge, so you can, build up your music business knowledge.
Right.
Because knowledge matters.
It really does. So, this has been kind of fascinating to watch all this unfold. Of course, there are other, companies or song funds that have been acquiring music rights, but that means that they've got big plans ahead of it, because that these rights didn't come cheap, especially for Lindsey to sell 100% of both shares.
See, that's somebody right there probably want to know. I mean,
right.
Seriously, they heard you and they want, hey, tell me more. So, but before you do that though, to the listeners, you got to do your own research. We'll give you the nuggets. You take the nuggets and then you do your research with them, so you can find out and enhance your knowledge on your own right there where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big deal. So make sure that you're paying attention, and anything that you need to know, just like he said, you research it. You need legal help, guess what? Breeze Team is there to help you. Yeah.
That's right. Contact us. So.
Oh, right. All right. We're going to get back to some more music, and then we'll be back with more music industry news after this. we're back again. More music industry news for you. Warner Music Group just signed a licensing deal with TikTok. And so they've been slowly but surely acquiring more music licenses for music. And so now the only one left, or major left for them to be able to secure a deal with, is Universal Music Group.
Well, now that's a testimonial right there. And that testimonial goes all the way back to your grandparents, my grandparents, and even back behind that, before that. Okay, and see, family ties always say, pay yourself first. Okay, these big companies and so forth that are accumulating all of this cash and whatever, they're using it to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when that scales down to the young man on the street, the young lady on the street, you got to do the same thing. So when you get some cash in your hand, you got to have a plan. Don't just throw it to the wind. Don't just, hey, I see this, I want this, I want that, I bought that, and then end up empty. You got to pay yourself first, put something back. So when the real thing comes along that you want to purchase or upgrade yourself with, you have cash on hand, right? That's just basic savings, right?
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't say it better.
you can't expect to just come up with equipment by borrowing. No, because then that leads you to get in that money trap. So you want to get your own money, save your own money. So when you need these different types of equipment and so on and so forth, you want to be able to dig into your bag, your bank bag, and acquire that. That's just like these big companies are doing.
That's right. Well said. And speaking of Universal Music Group, since they're the last ones that TikTok needs to kind of sign on the dotted line, they're actually planning to expand in Africa to acquire the streaming growth that is available there. So, streaming does exist, of course, and there are some, major players over there, but now they want to kind of get a little bit deeper involved. So they're expanding their operations in Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya this year. So that'll be exciting to see what'll happen there.
It surely will. It really will. Shout out to those countries as well, too.
Absolutely. And so, this is a good time to mention that, a lot of times artists will release things and then say that it's available on all platforms. But there are so many more than Spotify, Tidal, the ones that we're used to here in the States. So do keep that in mind. Make sure that when you distribute your stuff, you're hitting some of these other streaming companies in other countries and other continents, other areas. You don't want to miss any potential fans or somebody that might just need to hear your music. So make sure that you're hitting a broader range. The world is a lot bigger than the United States.
Yes. And then on the quiet tip, hey, when you buy a new cell phone and you get that cell phone going and you see certain music companies' icons on that cell phone, guess what? Those companies paid to have those icons on there. It's just like Chick was saying, those aren't the only companies around. You got to do your research and find other companies that have good deals that you can blend with, and because they're out there. Money business, music business is money business, and they're spending money to get your business. So take a tip on your own. Do your research.
Yes. Yep.
There could be some companies out there just waiting for you right now, but if you don't do the research, you'll never know.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna get back to some more music before we head out for the night.
Okay.
All right. is that time. You know, I just enjoyed this so much. I'm kind of sad to see it come to an end for this episode, but guess what? We'll be back next week, same time, same place.
I mean, hey, and as I said, you know, and shout out to our IG listeners, our FB listeners, our Twitter listeners, and you know, this thing, we're grabbing some attention, generating some attention, and people are taking notice. So we thank you and you out there over there for doing that, for you know, following us, because the flight is just starting.
Yes, I love it. All right, so we'll see you next week. Make sure you tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.